Good YouTube, Quinn Wade, coming to y'all with basketball analysis on Analysis Playground. And YouTube, we're gonna talk about the free agency. Just a wrap up on today. This the news that broke just today. Like Jason Tatum and the Celtics agreed to a 5-year, $315 million supermax contract. Jason Tatum is one of the bright young stars and a guy that has helped his team make it to two NBA finals, where he was close to being the finals MVP, showing you how good he is. Um, we just hope to see some more cleanup on this game, less turnovers, less isolations, and just more free flowing type of offense would be good for the Celtics. But it starts with your best players setting that example, and we're going to see if they're able to do that. This deal is the largest in NBA history, eclipsing Jalen Brown, who got a 5-year, $295 million supermax extension signed during the 2023 offseason. Um, like I said, this is a team that has a chance to repeat as champions, and they both under 30, and this will take them to above 30. So it's good to get this contract signed out of the way so we can focus on trying to win another championship instead of trying to making sure we don't. So Klay Thompson agrees to join the Mavericks on a 3-year, $50 million signing trade. So Klay Thompson and Mavericks was able to get that deal done, but in the sign and trade, Golden State facilitating a way to get the Charlotte Hornets will acquire Josh Green, who was a little disappointing in the playoffs for the Dallas Mavericks. So it makes sense that they move off of him to try to get an upgrade at the guard position. And Klay is a huge upgrade because he's exactly what they're trying to get anyway, a sniper that's reliable. He's not as healthy as he usually be, but since he's gonna have a lesser role and gonna be able to shoot open shots, but I happen to create him as much, it gives him a little bit more longevity to his game, and it gives him the ability to play at a high level a little longer in his career because of how this team plays basketball with Kyrie and Luka. But after Josh Green, the Mavericks are part of the trade for because of the two first round and the two future second round picks that they'll be sending to Charlotte, I believe. Let me make sure the Charlotte Hornets will acquire Josh Green for the Mavericks as a part of a trade for two second round picks. So yeah, they'd be sending two second round picks to Charlotte. Thompson was a first round pick by the Warriors in 2011, and they went to 4 titles. They won 4 titles together. Thompson, who is represented by Greg Lawrence, is coming off a 5-year, $190 million contract agreed upon in 2019 following his ACL tear in Game 6 of the NBA Finals in 77 games late last season. Thompson averaged 17.9, 3.3 rebounds, and 2.3 assists while shooting 38% from three. That's above average, but that's something that we knew he could do at this point of his career. Thompson also strongly considered the Los Angeles Lakers, but this team has more chance to compete for a title as they were just in the finals just a couple months ago with Luka and Kyrie. Other than that, Thompson had 4-year offers for more money elsewhere, but taking less was reportedly offset by an opportunity to win a title, like I said before, in a different state, and income taxes was a good way to get more of your money too. Goga Bataze Magic agreed to 3-year, $25 million deal. He's a solid center, hasn't really been able to show you that he can score at a high level or hit too many shots, but he did get 5 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 1.3 assists. Look, they just got him for the size that he can bring to a team. You can't teach height, and that's how he's been able to stay in the league. Hopefully, he can do more things fundamentally right and, get a little bit more minutes with the Magic to show what he really can do. Other than that, D'Anthony Melton and the Warriors agreed to a 1-year, $12.8 million deal. They need more scoring. They need somebody to replace Klay. They need somebody that can hit threes and can create their own shot just a little bit. And D'Anthony Melton has done that his whole career. I have a breakdown on DeAnthony Milton when he was a rookie, and he still plays the same. He's going to give you spot up shooting. He's going to give you the ability to get to the rim. He's going to give you the ability to score in transition, and he can play well off the ball, and that's all you're going to really need him to do. But just remember, he averaged 11 points, 3.7 rebounds, 3.0 assists in 36 minutes, which it shows you he can get to double figures, and he shoots the ball just good enough to be a difference maker for this team who had really no shooting guard depth after they lost Klay. Garrett Temple and the Raptors agreed to a 1 year deal. He is a wing that can score the basketball when you need them to and when you let them play. This team has, they need more wings, and they're able to pick up a guy for cheap that can just fill in that role and give them something that they really need and not be costly. Um, Jazz listen into trade offers on Lowry marketing, so teams are interested in him and they willing to hear what's the best offer they can get um, off Lowry. And we look at it like that's a good deal for whoever wants him because he's that good right now, as he's one of the most improved players and won a trophy for that. Nick Batum agrees to a 2 year, $9.6 million deal with the Los Angeles Clippers. This is a team they played for already. He has spot up shooting, the ability to stay out the way and play within the offense, and being able to play off the ball helps. Kawhi Leonard has a little bit more space. Same with James Harden. Same with Russell Westbrook if he wants to stay. Now you got another spot up shooter and a lanky defender and a guy that can, fit the role that you usually have on the team. So much not going to change since Paul George left. They still playing that same style of basketball. We just got to see if they can stay healthy. But I think their window as a contender is closed. But they still going to want to be competitive just because they didn't really have a chance to get a number one pick. So they just went from let's get a number one pick mentality to let's stay how relevant we can stay and see if we can position ourselves for a future draft pick, later down the career of Kawhi Leonard getting older. Then eventually you just make a move to go all in for the guy you want in the draft you want, as you have scouts for that. But Luka Garza agrees to a 2 year deal. He did a great job being a backup center. We'll see how long his career lasts. He did get 4 points to 1 rebound in 4.9 minutes in 25 games last season. But two-way contract gives them the flexibility to have control on how long he stays on the roster. And if he's not good enough, they can just get rid of him and give the spot to somebody else. Derek White did agree to a 4 year, $125 million extension. I think he's worth the money. He's young enough. He competes enough. He fights enough on the basketball court defensively and offensively. He's a great three-point shooter as a pull-up artist or just a guy that can score when the ball is passed to him. And he can also put the ball on the floor and hit a floater or get to the basket and make a shot. He's perfect for what the Celtics are trying to do, and that's why they won a championship easily. Aaron Holiday also agrees to a 2 year deal worth $10 million with the Houston Rockets. He's a speedy scorer that can run the offense, very young, can create his own shot, can set up guys, can be a little scrappy. I love what he brings to the table. Um, um, Other than that, DeLon Wright did agree to a 1 year, $3.3 million with the Bucks. Just trying to add a small amount of scoring at the guard position, and that's all they really need is a guy to fill that role coming off the bench, and DeLon Wright can obviously do that. Drew Eubanks also agrees to a 2 year, $10 million deal. He's not going to change or add anything significant. He's just going to be a guy with size that has potential and is untapped. So we'll see if the Jazz can make that dream a reality for themselves and Eubanks themselves, and we'll see what they do with that. Jazz get Justin for 2 years because they gave him a two-way. They got control of how he stays on the roster, gives them a lot of power over his career. I do want to say though that the Tobias Harris sign and happened when he ended up going to Detroit for a 2 year, 52 million. He has shooting, he has scoring. He's the best unsigned guy left after Klay Thompson. And if you can get him and trade him, or you can get him on a decent contract, he can give you a lot of assets back if you do decide to trade him, because his value is never going to be too low. People just didn't have the cap space to give it to him because they rather pursue multiple players besides one. And I feel like it's going to be a situation where they're going to get rid of Tobias after showing you what he can still offer. It makes sense for Tobias to take a deal like this, one that's affordable, one that shows you that you're willing to take less money to win, and the fact that you're willing to put yourself in position, to be able to still move on for your own personal career if the Pistons situation doesn't work, which most likely won't, because they just don't have enough talent still to compete with the teams out now. And the Jalen Smith and the Bulls agreed to a 3 year, $227 million deal, and he's a solid rim protector. He's a guy that can make the mid-range and the three. He just needs to fully develop his ability to shoot consistently, his ability to shoot every game, and his ability to finish at the rim. And then his ability as a rim protector is average. He needs to, continue to work on that and make that a whole lot better. Aaron Wiggins did agree to a 5 year, $47 million deal. Very, very cheap for a guy that's still developing and still getting better. Same with Isaiah Joe, 4 year, $48 million deal, still getting better, still has a large amount of potential that he still shows. Got the size, got the strength, got the shooting type of touch. He just got to get his consistency up. Same with Aaron Wiggins, so they can be threats on the court. And after that, they're going to be on some great contracts. Tyrese Maxey did agree to a 5 year, $204 million deal. We knew he was going for the max. We knew he was going to be one of the highest paid players because he is an all-star. He is an all-NBA player. He can get to the rim. He can do the pull-up. He can hit threes. He can get hot. And he can dominate games like you want your best players to do. And he proved that last year. And I feel like as long as he stay healthy, he can prove it as much as he wants, on the basketball court. And that is really about it when it comes to NBA content. Other than that, everybody has had themselves a great free agency and pretty much got anything that they wanted. When it comes to contract, either they was negotiating to get this contract, or they feel like they was worth more money, or they feel like they was worth more years. Teams didn't really hesitate giving them the contracts that they actually wanted. It speeds up the process. It makes them feel needed. It makes them feel like they have put in the work to get to where they had come, and they didn't really have to argue and fight over, is this guy even worth it? Because teams knew what they was worth. They knew what they valued at, and they knew how much they needed to get them in, because a lot of these teams are trying to accomplish the impossible, which is winning the NBA championship. And it takes, gathering assets. It takes, drafting well and developing well just to get potential great players, or it's just putting yourself in a position where teams think you can get them to where they need to go, so they're willing to commit because they see what you can do and they see what you have done to make these organizations look like they can win. And some actually take it serious and actually show that they actually do give that opportunity and try to do it each and every season. And that just rubs off on other organizations that want them to win too, especially since the draft lottery don't cater to tanking anymore. It make you retool more than try to rebuild. And I think that keeps the league more fun and more competitive, because you mostly still going to root for your team and always say, we got them next year. And that's the mentality that Adam Silver wanted the NBA fans to have, is that they're not trying to give up. They're not trying to quit. They're trying to put out the best product / the best team that they can on the court each and every year. And that's how the NBA should be. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell for more analysis. And other than that, see you guys later, and enjoy the rest of y'all day.